What's up, everybody?
Yo, yo.
What's up?
Yo, what's up? We are now tuned in to another live broadcasting of Lamp Bitches. I am Ambitious Brown. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Nice day today.
Very nice day.
I'm trying to get this right. I'm doing good as well. Great. It's another blessing to see another week, right?
Right. Crazy.
Yeah.
So y'all have anything interesting going on this week?
Ooh, a lot of treats. A lot of treats and popcorn. And I'm ordering popcorn, vanilla flavor, salsa flavor, caramel. What kind of popcorn is that, Chip?
Man, the Deanne's gourmet popcorn, man. So it's our first fundraiser with Lamp, and it's sold out in less than a week. So again, we would like to thank everybody that supported us. It's been tremendous. In fact, we are thinking about doing it again very soon, but with the proceeds going to Lamp camps in the future, this is just another step forward. So we appreciate everybody.
That's awesome. I'm proud of you guys. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely.
And also, real quickly, we've revamped the website. So just stay tuned to that. So everybody, we're trying to direct to go to the www.lampitup.org, where you can get a face mask, because this is the new norm, made by our Miss Ambitious Brown over there. Lamp shirts, if y'all can see that, polos. So we're again very thankful for everybody that has supported us, and we'll continue to.
Yes, great material. Hot weather, it's not like sticky, so it's like good material, top-notch quality.
Awesomeness. Awesome. Looks like we just lost Lloyd real quick.
Yeah, I think he'll pop up.
Yeah. Well, this week I've been really in my creative mindset, doing a lot of note taking, and just what I'm trying to do is revamp the brand and just add some new things and add some more meaning to it. And I'm just getting a whole lot of stuff figured out while I'm still quarantining and working from home. I'm just utilizing this time to just do bigger and better and just come up with new ideas. And this past weekend, I actually was painting. I painted my sister's bathroom, and I got paint. I still have paint in my hair. I washed it like 3 times, and I just don't recommend, you paint without putting something over your head, because I'm so mad at myself because I had like little white spots all in my little locks. But I had fun. Like, I had some free time. Like, I got to spend some time with myself and with my thoughts and with my music. So it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, this is a good time to take advantage of what's going on in the world today. And I suggest sticking around people that are with the same mindset, creative, somebody that's ambitious. So you want to stick around people like that, because you can sit around, get lazy, gain weight, stop working out, lose focus. Or if you hang around people like us, you can stay motivated and still continue to reach your goals.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. So I know we talked about tonight's show. This month of being August, it's National Immunization Awareness Month, according to the CDC. Well, I look like that. Okay. And so I think the topic is going to be very good, because we have both opponents and proponents in regards to that. And our guest today is very knowledgeable. We have Miss Dr. Amber Robinett on here with us, who is a pediatrician with Texas Children here in the Houston area. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Where's my Beyonce intro, though? Y'all had Steve I need Beyonce.
Should have known. Okay, we got you.
Yeah.
Next time, right?
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I get to actually put makeup on and not wear my mask.
Oh. I hear about
Same
the
way.
struggles. I hear about those struggles where you can't with the makeup and the masks.
Oh, I know. No, it's a lost cause. I mean, you can, focus on your eyes and, have mascara, your lashes or something, but beyond
I don't
that.
recommend it. I don't like, because it irritates my skin with the makeup and the mask, and I'd rather be without makeup.
Yeah.
Just wear my mask.
I know. Just like I said, just focus on your eyes.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for having me.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So we've had so many questions in regards to both ways with this. And with you having the wealth of knowledge in it, one of the questions we were asked is, why do we have vaccines if people, still get sick? Because I know with it being back to school, we have a lot of parents interested in and have to go get those certain shots for their kids.
Yes. So I should have had a paddle for like a myth and fact or fiction or something. So I hear this every single year about flu vaccine specifically. That's usually the one that people are most concerned about, and say it made me sick. I got the flu. I was doing fine until I received the flu vaccine. I hear it all the time. But there are actually two different types of flu vaccines. So we have the shot that is inactivated, and so that means that the virus has been killed. So you really can't get the flu because it's not a live virus. But a lot of times with any vaccine, you can get pain at the injection site. You can get some, mild symptoms because it is boosting your immune system. So sometimes it revs up a little bit, and you can have some mild symptoms of low-grade fever, but you don't get like the full-blown flu. You do have the nasal mist. Flu mist is the trade name for that one. And that is a live vaccine, but even those people don't really get the flu. It's very unlikely. Again, it's the same kind of concept. You are boosting the immune system. So you may have a little low-grade fever and some mild symptoms, but it's not the stay in your bed 5 to 7 days and can't get out, can't get out of the bed type thing. Now, flu season runs October to March typically, but it can vary. With all the COVID stuff going on, you see viruses have a mind of their own and infections have a mind of their own. But normally it's October to March in a typical year. And there's so many other viruses going around at that time. So we have the common cold, the respiratory syncytial virus that affects little kids like I would see. But in you and I, it would just be the common cold. And you have adenovirus. You have all kind of viruses that are going around at the same exact time. And people don't really test for those kind of routinely. So that's why some people think that, and they may actually have that instead of the flu is my point. And they may not truly have the flu, but it doesn't cause it. That's my myth buster paddle. I need a myth. So because it doesn't cause the flu.
So just for clarification, you're saying that whenever you get the flu shot, you're inserted with a sort of like a dead virus, and that's what prevents you from catching the flu?
Right. So what you are doing is you are injecting inactivated, it's the killed virus, and that boosts, but it mimics. So your body thinks, okay, there's a little bit of it's something going on, it senses, and that's going to boost. That's going to cause those antibodies to form because it's inactivated. So you're not actively, getting an infection, and so which would mount a totally different response, and it's pretty risky if you just walked out and wanted to get the flu. It would be a different type of it's the same kind of concept of boosting the immune response, but one is more riskier than others, and but you cannot get the flu from the flu shot because it is inactivated. Okay, it's not a live virus.
Well, you're actually dispelling a myth that I guess I thought I grew up thinking. Because I was always under the impression it was this is the actual flu virus that's being injected into you, but it's not to the extreme, level to where you should get sick. But I do hear a lot of people that do get sick when they get injected with the flu, or is that just coincidence, or, that happenstance?
Yeah, so it is an inactivated flu. Influenza is the formal name. So it is an activated influenza virus that's in the vaccine. But what I'm saying is inactivated. So it's not. So it's enough antigen, which is the actual component. It's kind of a more scientific term of the actual virus, viral particles themselves, but they're inactivated. But it's enough to trick the immune system to say, hey, let me go ahead and mount a response. And so, and then as far as the, getting sick, you can get sick. You can get a mild fever from anyone, MMR or varicella. So you can get a fever from these vaccines, and you may get a little sniffle, but it's not like I said, the 5 to 7 days you can't do anything type of infection. And it's not. And there are also other viruses that go around simultaneously, and but we don't routinely check for those. So it's likely it could be a coincidence that you have that instead of the actual flu, and you just so happen to get the flu vaccine, in that time period. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
So we have a next question. Is this next question, Lloyd?
But that's a flu vaccine I'm seeing.
Okay, here it goes. What are the risks associated with taking immunization shots as a toddler, and has there been any adverse effects that we should know about? So you kind of touched on it, but this time it's kind of talking about as growing up as a toddler or as a baby, getting that. Go ahead.
The shots that are recommended for birth up to the first 36 months. Because I know a lot of parents, autism is on the rise, right? And I know that there has been some association with autism and the MMR vaccine. So is this something that, because I don't have kids, I don't know anything about the requirements of birth, but knowing that, are parents aware of the risks that are associated with the vaccines prior to taking them?
Yes. So so myth. I need my myth paddle. I should have made one.
There you go.
Okay. So this is a hot topic. I've been practicing for 11 years or maybe 12 actually. 12, I think. August was the anniversary. But so I hear this all the time. I mean, even today, I had a parent asking me about this. So it is not this myth is not going away anytime soon. But I like talking about this because this one is, again, a hot topic. So yes, autism, the cases of autism, as we learn more about autism, we are seeing increase in incidence. We used to call people savants and other names for it. So there may have been some unofficial terms in the past, but in general, yes, I do agree the incidence is increasing. However, there is and they have tested millions of kids. They have done trials and trials and trials, studies that have debunked that myth that autism, and specifically, like you mentioned, the MMR vaccine, but all vaccines, no vaccine has been proven, and you can look it up. But speaking of looking up things, I do recommend that people always kind of consider their source, because if you look for something, you'll find it. So if you're looking for autism, if you're searching for autism and vaccines, you will find somebody putting it on the internet, because they can put whatever they want. But when you're looking for true, factual information, more than likely, if it has a .org behind it or .gov, you can probably consider it a reputable source, just kind of in general terms, but you still have to be careful. But there is no association between vaccines and autism. And you brought up the MMR one. The reason why that was a hot topic, that it was a doctor that conducted this study, and it was a faulty study. It was only a few people actually in the study in the first place, but he ended up lying about the results. And as a result of that, his license was taken away. But people have held on to this because they want to have a reason. We want to blame somebody for something or something for something. And we don't know truly what causes autism. And so since we don't really know, we think it's genetics, but we can't really say exactly what form of genetics it falls into that causes it. People want to hold on to something. They want a reason. They want an explanation. And so that's why that myth, I think, hasn't fallen by the wayside, is because we don't have a justification. But they have debunked that myth. Thimerosal was the one of the ingredients, which is a mercury derivative, one of the ingredients that they thought was associated with it. And that also was disproven. But what we do now, most vaccines don't even have thimerosal in it since it was so controversial. It's a preservative. So what was happening, they were putting it in these in the back in the day, people used to draw from the same vial of vaccines. And so it wouldn't contaminate inside. They would use thimerosal, for example, to prevent cross-contamination. And so that was a preservative. But now we have individual dose vials for most vaccines. So, you just get that one, and it's just a whole bunch of, if your child gets six shots, then it's going to be 6 individual shots. And not, then we don't draw from the same vial. But so in summary, specifically, there's no association between vaccines and autism. And I forgot the original question.
But that you pretty much answered it.
Yeah. So we start vaccinating, though. I think you mentioned it kind of from infancy. So out the womb. So usually on day of life 1, really, the babies get a hepatitis B vaccine, and that's to really protect them from what's called a perinatal infection from an infection from their mom, and just in case that she has it. But ultimately, it's going to protect them throughout their lifetime as well from the blood-borne infection of hepatitis B. And then we start really at 2 months after that, and we are rocking and rolling with vaccines.
I have a quick question also before we go to the next one, because it made me think of something. So the vaccines and immunization shots, they're necessary, but they're also mandatory, right? Or do the parents have an option to say, no, I don't want to do this with my child, and are there repercussions for that?
Well, for public schools, it is a requirement. There's a lot of red tape when it comes to school and vaccine refusal. But in general, they are a required component to be able to enter school. And then as far as just your parental right, it is a public health risk, really. And so in our office, we require that everybody be vaccinated, because what we don't want is an outbreak of measles. Mm-hmm. and that's real. that's been every year. It seems like every 1 to 2 years there's been a measles outbreak, and it causes hysteria, and they try to trace it back, contact trace. So COVID is actually good because it kind of has it has allowed people to understand some of the process of vaccines and infections and kind of tracing it back. But measles is a real one that's still, pretty prevalent. And some people, you do have a right, and there may be some doctors that will see your child, but we feel so strongly for them. And I always tell my patients, listen, I trained for 11 years to help your child. There is nothing that I will do intently to harm your child. And I believe in science, and I believe in these studies, and it's millions of kids, have been studied, in these trials and these studies. And so, you try to build that rapport, and so that they can trust your judgment. I have 3 kids, and I would never do anything to my kids that I wouldn't, I would never give my kids or give my patients anything that I wouldn't give my kids. And so, they can, refuse them, but it may come at a cost of not only having a hard time finding a provider for that because no one wants that liability, because I wouldn't want that to be an outbreak in my waiting room and put other people's health at risk. So they
I
do
guess
that.
after all of that, my first question, well, what I think and what I know other people think, like, is everybody around me is vaccinated, then why is this one unvaccinated person such a risk?
Well, everybody is not vaccinated because those 4 month, those 2 month, those 4 month, those 6 month olds, they are not fully vaccinated. And so for most vaccines, you kind of think about the 2 month old that gets their first series. The 2, 4, and 6 month vaccine series are nearly identical. They're one little subtle difference, but they're essentially identical. And then you at 12 months, you kind of have a little bit of that, and then some additional ones. But you're not really. So you have 25%, 50%, 75% protection, and then maybe you get to 100%, but you're not. Those babies are not 100% vaccinated, protected, I should say. They are up to date on their shots, because they have a certain timing that we have to follow. But those babies are not vaccinated. We don't start with the measles, mumps, rubella until we don't give that one until 1, and then the second one at 4. So so we do boosters because even between that 1 and 4 year old period, your immune system may kind of dip a little bit. It may not be 100% protected, during that 3 year period. So those are so it's not just that one person, it's those incompletely immunized babies because they just haven't had a chance yet to be completely vaccinated. If that makes sense, Valentine.
Yeah.
We have a couple questions from our viewers. So it says, are there alternatives?
Can you hear?
I can hear. Can y'all hear me?
Okay. I might be echoing. It says, are there alternative vaccine schedules available for babies?
Oh, no, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, it's hard to hear you. But looks like I think he's reading a question from one of the people that are watching, Jean Williams, and she said, are there alternative vaccine schedules available for babies? And should toddlers get the flu shot? Those are a couple questions she had.
Okay. So there are like Dr. Bob's, that's one of the, or like a real doctor that has an alternative vaccine schedule. And then there's another one. There are a few that are pretty well known as far as what we listen out for, but they are not recommended. Because of the timing, there have been, again, scientific evidence that these vaccines are given at a certain time. And there's actually a committee that meets, I guess, 3 times a year, and they review not only our current vaccine schedule, but if there is a chance that a new vaccine, like when COVID finally makes it to pediatrics, I'm sure they're going to, or really before that, I'm sure they're going to review that with a fine tooth comb. But the vaccine schedule, it has been studied, and they have found that these certain intervals of time are necessary to keep that immune system boosted. And again, we don't want to delay any vaccines because some of them don't start vaccinating with flu vaccine until like 5. And it's like, well, what about the first 5 years of their life when they're most susceptible, And so to answer your question, we recommend the flu vaccine starting at 6 months. Any child less than 9 does have to get like 2 doses every first year, but essentially it's like once a year. We do recommend it starting at 6 months old. And no, we don't recommend the alternative vaccine schedules because it, again, puts them, the most vulnerable kids, at risk.
I think it was quite interesting. I took a poll yesterday, and the group. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the groups I'm in, and it was about 50-50 for as far as immunizations. 50% of people were for it, 50% were against it, and then you had a whole nother crowd that was like, I'm for it, but I'm afraid of. I don't want anything to have to do with COVID. So
Yeah, I don't.
I guess Yeah,
As me personally, I don't want anything to do with the COVID vaccine simply because COVID just came out in November.
right.
How y'all already have a vaccine that's going to stay
I
tested
know.
properly, and we know that it's not going to kill us when they give it to us? I feel like it's too soon, me personally.
Like you don't know the long-term effects.
You don't know much. We just heard about COVID, and now we already got the cure. Too soon.
I know. They're still moving through the trials. It is pretty accelerated, I will say, because it usually does take numerous years for the vaccines to come out. But it's a lot of red tape, I'm sure, with every step typically. And I guess they cut out that red tape. Oh, so yeah, that I don't know if y'all want to read that question. I'm reading it, but
so how long does it take to properly test the vaccine? Because from my understanding, it takes between 4 to 6 years to properly test and make sure that it doesn't have too many harmful side effects and things of that nature.
Yes, actually, well, from concept to production, concept to actually, making it to the offices for administration, I'll put it like that. It can take longer, sometimes 10 years from the concept. Now, the trials, which are like the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, which are regulated by the FDA, then that particular process may take about 4 to 6 years. But the actual from concept to delivery can be 10 plus years sometimes. So to get a vaccine, and I think what is it going to be? I think 12 to 18 months. That's going to be pretty remarkable. We'll see what. I mean, I still
I don't want it.
The jury's still out.
It's too soon.
The jury's still out.
I'm just. It's too soon for me personally. I'm like, y'all can wait. Test whoever you would like first. Give it to them, but leave me out of it.
Yeah, usually like the phase 3 is thousands of people. So, from that, you can kind of get a little bit better understanding. And so as far as side effects and stuff and how safe it is. So, I mean, it's still yet to be, finalized. They're all like ready to put it on the shelf, but they still have a little ways to go.
From an article that I read, they've already purchased like 4 billion tests. So
I think it's free. Yeah. I don't think it's actually in production, but they've already committed to buying, a certain number of, millions of doses, but.
And they were saying Russia had already claimed that they had found
they have the vaccine available. Yeah, I don't want anything from Russia. I can tell you that for sure.
And I think that's another. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said thanks, but no thanks. But
Russia. Yeah, I think that's another thing that frightens people is just is not the fact that they don't trust you, doctor, but they don't trust these governments and everything, the big pharma companies that's money influenced by money. So it's like, do people make the right decisions when so much money is involved? You know what I'm saying? We want to do what's right. And I worked for companies where I want to do what's right, but their goal was to make money at almost any means possible. So it's kind of like you're in a rock and a hard place where, people trusted me, but they didn't trust actually who I was working for all the time. So
that's true. You do bring up a good point. It is a lot of mistrust just with the government and with pharmaceutical companies, and so we're kind of fighting that battle too. But I will say that vaccines aren't really the cash cow. It's usually other medicines. That they,
antibiotics, maybe.
Say it one more time.
Antibiotics, like what would be the?
Just medicines in general. I mean, they can charge an arm and a leg for some of these medicines, and when it comes to the pharmacies and the pharmaceutical companies and how much they charge, it's so much variability. It's ridiculous. So that is very frustrating to us. You can have insurance and pay $400 for some medicine that is a generic. You're like, but it's generic. Right. So it's been around forever. I don't understand. And so certain things don't make sense. It's all about it is a lot of bureaucracy, I guess, and trying to, get through some of that red tape. And, but But in general, the vaccines are supposed to decrease healthcare costs and decrease, hospitalizations from severe illnesses and so forth. So the money that is made, I mean, they do make a profit, but it's nothing in comparison to drug sales, right, and other medicines. So
good point. Some good insight.
I don't know. I can't not think about the Tuskegee project that they did, and where they purposefully infected people with syphilis. And it's like, okay, it's 2020. How much further away are they from those type of agendas? So,
I know. Yep.
And that's like where my mindset is always. Like, I haven't had a flu shot ever in my life. I'm very big on natural remedies, keeping myself healthy just for me. I'm not speaking for anyone else, but this is what works really well for myself. So just knowing and understanding other alternatives has been helpful for me and my sanity, because I just have trust issues. It's not necessarily the doctors, it's the government that I don't trust.
Right. And that's kind of what I was alluding to. Yeah. That that is especially in our community, in the African American community, we see that all the time. But vaccine, the anti-vaxxers, it crosses all kind of cultures, and so we see it as far as that movement. Everywhere from, African American, Caucasian American. I mean, it's everybody. So that battle, is a hard one to fight. But we try every day to just try to reassure and understand that, we do trust the science behind it. And then, like I said, trust your source, because the internet is crazy these days. Being able to find anything to support whatever your opinion is, one way or the other. So.
Yeah, I go on WebMD. Is that a good site?
WebMD is pretty good. Yep, it's a good one. That's a good one. But I would do like as far as kind of more in depth kind of research and a lot more research. Like the CDC's website. I know that's a government entity, but it is. We do trust their website, and then from there they have other different vaccine links that talk about the thimerosal, talk about the. It's a lot of FAQs on there, so you can just Google that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I know. I look at CDC and the WHO, and then a lot of times they have even with the vaccines, they have it when it's scheduled. Because I have a teenager now, and so he doesn't have to have anything, but I think he has one more to go between 15 and 16.
Yeah, you have your meningitis series at 16, and that's going to be required for college. So for dorms, preventing dorm outbreaks of meningitis. So that's a good one to have.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Well, this has been very, very, very insightful. Any final thoughts that you want to, nuggets you want to give to the audience and let them know, hey, why they should or couldn't, or in your opinion, get immunizations?
Yes. So just final take home points. Vaccines are good. And very simplistically, they are good. They're necessary. They're not a form of, I hear this all the time. This is my pet peeve, so I'm going to say it. If you want to make a pediatrician cringe, if you have your misbehaving child, don't tell them. I'm telling the doctor to give you a shot. Because what they do is they get fearful of them, but shots are necessary. What we're doing is trying to protect them long-term from vaccine preventable illnesses. Now we have, we didn't talk about HPV, but the HPV vaccine was another kind of controversial one, but it's a good one because human papillomavirus is linked to head and neck cancers and cervical cancers. And so that's also recommended for our preteens, the teens, and all the way up until adulthood. But we start now vaccinating in the preteens, and but it prevents a type of cancer, and so that is a big one. It's a big one, and the whole purpose of all the vaccines are to keep the ones that you don't see suppressed, and we need to keep them suppressed because they can come back. Where there are other places around the world that still see these things, and we're just a plane ride away. Just like COVID, being in China and now it's here. It can travel at any point in time. So these infections have a mind of their own. So we have to do our part to help protect our kids against them.
You're on mute, Lloyd.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, so if someone wants to follow you or contact you in the Houston area, I see, then they just will go to TexasChildrenPediatrics.org and search for your name, correct?
Yes. You can go to Find a Doctor, and then you can search for my name, and I'm at Texas Children's Pediatrics North Shore on the east side.
East side.
Yeah.
Got somebody your alumni, Willow Ridge. Oh, that's it.
I am Willow Ridge. That's right.
and you're a part of the Divine Nine too, right?
That's right. Yes, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Yes.
Oh, I like it. So you got your sorority sister that's running for vice president. So
yes.
Very proud time of 2020 with all that going on. So.
Exactly. Yes, we're hoping that the Divine Nine shows up at the poll and represents for all of us.
Definitely.
Yes. Well, thank y'all for having me.
No problem. Thank you for your time again, and we definitely will be in touch because I know we all still have questions as we approach flu season.
Yes. We'll probably have our supply in another month or so. I know some other places, Walgreens always has them first or something, so I think I've already seen signs. So
yeah.
Ambitious. I know that you're not.
No, I'm processing. I do appreciate all the information that you.
I'm gonna get my elderberry. I'm gonna
do some more. I'm gonna do my research before I have my children, and I'm more into the alternative dates. Like I don't want to do the right away. If I can spread them out, I would rather do that. So but I'm gonna think about. I ain't got no kids right now, but I'm gonna think about before I get my kids into this world. But I am more into the stretching them out, spreading them out, and not giving them all at the same time. From my research,
I don't know how much time we have, but I will say that the vaccines are. It kind of does scare people when I say they're getting 6 vaccines at a visit. We have them in combination most of the time anyway. But there are 6. Individuals 6 vaccines, but we have them in. But I will say, when I was vaccinated, and I'm not going to tell you my exact age because I got my good hair dye, but no, it's like, but 40 years ago, the amount of that antigen going back to the viral particles that are used to, and the particles I should say that are used to create these vaccines. Back in the day, they use way more of that. So now they're much more refined. So basically they use just enough to mount that immune response. And that has come from multiple studies. So it actually is better for kids these days than it was for probably all of us on this call because of the amount of particles that were in those vaccines back in the day. So it's and you don't really want to space them out too because it's multiple cortisol response. That's your stress hormone. So if you break it up, not only you're putting them at risk, but then you're stressing them out multiple times. So more than we suggest. So that's just another reason to keep it.
I'm gonna hold that nugget right in my pocket.
Yes. Look within, girl. Look within and do some research. Not words are not good.
Yes, definitely. I do appreciate all the information that you have provided us for today. It's been great. It's been insightful. Like I said, I'm going to get back on my searching and see what else I can find out. And,
just give you a hard time. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very, very appreciative. This is okay.
You're going to be in Walgreens getting the flu shot next month.
No, I'm
not. Well, Thank y'all so much again.
All right.
All right. Till next time.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, great one. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
We got some clapping going on in here.
Hold on. What happened?
No, I was clapping some clapping noise for great show, great information.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm still going to dig into my research bag because it's just too many statistics that I've seen, and just really would rather have some understanding, especially about autism, understanding that one in every 45 child is born with autism. And if there's no direct correlation with the vaccine, then why is it happening? So that's really what I'm interested in now, that after speaking with our doctor today, because I'm like, well, something's happening. So I don't know.
And my final thoughts on everything is, for one, is great information, but like making a decision on what to do and what not to do, it's like you really need to do your own research and like she said, go on these websites, talk to people like Dr. Amber Robinett, talk to other people and get various opinions. That's why you get in sports, you get two opinions on a bad knee, so it's like just because one person says something doesn't mean that's the law and that's the final option. So the final option really is your choice, and that's when you make the best choice by doing all of your own research, asking all of the questions that you need to ask to make that choice.
Definitely.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah, same thing, piggybacking off of both of y'all, because lately I've been taking, especially with COVID, I've been taking a lot of elderberry. I've been doing a lot of holistic stuff.
Okay.
No, because I'm with you. I've been doing a lot of that, and I feel great. I mean, I feel like I don't, knock on wood, I don't really get sick anyway. But lately, I've really been doing elderberry. I've been doing drinking the tea, all that kind of stuff. Just building your immune system. Even they say get outside and get your vitamin D.
Yep.
So I haven't been working out as much as I should, but I've been doing a lot of fishing.
Okay, but you outside, you getting that extra.
Omega-3, omega-6, omega-9.
There you go.
Oregano is actually my favorite. I do elderberry and oregano oil, so those are the two that I keep with me. But I've been feeling great for 4 years with nothing else. So I'm like, something is working. Something. So just like you say, do your own research and figure out what's best for you and what. Because I'm not no medical doctor, I'm not no expert, but I know what works really well for me and what's been working well for me. So I'm gonna keep on doing what I've been doing.
Yeah, I've been that garlic works too. That's
That's
an antibiotic. Alicia just has some probiotic drink. It's like ginger, lemon juice. I think it mixed with some lime and vinegar or something like that.
Lemons are a superfood. Lemon will clean everything.
Yeah,
clean you all the way out. Okay?
Right. Some good stuff.
That's been real, y'all, man, for real. Another great episode, great show, great topics. For anybody out there that wants to follow us, definitely it's the Lambitious Podcast on Facebook, Lambitious on Instagram, Twitter, it's Lambitious PC, also Twitch TV, it's Lambitious. You guys have a great week. Be productive and stay positive, as my boy Pat would always say.
Stay positive.
Definitely. Y'all have a great week.
You too.
All right. See y'all next time.
All right.
Next Tuesday.
Out.